I want to look at a simple idea that runs through a lot of different teachers, even though they use different words for it. I'm Indica Michelle, and here's a little something that might help you where you're feeling stuck right now. Neville Goddard talks about living in the end and assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Maxwell Maltz talks about the self-image as the control center of our behavior. Joe Dispenza talks about personality creating personal reality. When you strip away the language, they're all pointing to the same thing. Your inner state, your sense of who you are, quietly steers your life. Neville's angle is imagination and assumption. He says your world mirrors the state you occupy. If you keep returning to the inner feeling of already being the person who has what you desire, your outer circumstances start to reorganize around that state. Maltz looks at it through psychology. He noticed that people could change their faces, but still feel like the same person. From that, he developed the idea of the self-image. The picture you hold of yourself sets the limits of what feels possible and natural for you. Dispenza comes at it with neuroscience language. He teaches that if your thoughts, emotions, and actions stay the same, your life keeps repeating. To create a new reality, you have to become someone new on the inside first. Eckhart Tolle adds another layer: presence. He points out how much of our identity is made of stories in the mind. When you rest in awareness instead of constantly acting from those stories, you stop unconsciously feeding the same patterns. So how do you actually use this in a way that lines up with those teachings? One way is to choose a quiet moment and become very honest about who you currently believe you are. Not who you post as, but who you feel like when you're alone. You can ask yourself, what do I automatically assume about myself in money, love, and health? What do I expect other people to do or not do? What kind of future do I quietly assume is, for me? That gives you a look at your current state, your current self-image, your current assumptions. Then, inspired by these teachers, you design a new inner pattern. From Neville's side, you ask, if my desire were already fulfilled, what would I feel like in ordinary moments? You practice that feeling in imagination, especially in drowsy, relaxed states. From Maltz's side, you sketch a new self-image. How does this version of me see themselves? How do they walk into a room? What do they believe they can handle? From Dispenza's side, you look at your daily life. What thoughts, emotions, and behaviors belong to the old version of me, and which ones belong to the person I'm becoming? You begin to catch the old ones and gently replace them with the new. From Tolle's side, you add presence. You notice the old narrative as a pattern in the mind, and you give it less and less automatic obedience. The practice is simple but demanding. Spend time each day in the inner state of the person you intend to be. Treat that identity as normal, not distant. Make small choices in daily life that match it, even when it's uncomfortable. Watch your old reactions without immediately acting them out. Over time, the way you see yourself, the way you feel in your own skin, and the way you move through situations begins to shift. And slowly, your outer life starts to echo that shift. Different teachers use different names: imagination, self-image, state of being, awareness. But they are all describing this inner work of becoming aligned with the life you say you want, on the level of who you are being from moment to moment. Hit like and subscribe to grow together. Thanks and have a pretty day.